Hello, I'm Martin King, and I'm here with Darby Calhoun. We're standing here at Von Kendall Field in London, Ohio. This is Game 3 of the young Ohio high school football season. It's a big game for London. This team Northeastern went undefeated last year, and it's a big game for London. They lost a few players. Northeastern lost a few players last year, but this game was, if London wins this game, it'll really propel them going as a run toward the playoffs. What's your views on this game, Darby?
Last year they lost. London lost 14-13. I think it was kind of a sore spot for them, since I felt that they should have won the game. I feel that if London doesn't make the simple mistakes that's plagued them in the last two games, they'll just simply just dominate this team.
The Red Raiders are undefeated coming into this game. Last week it was a very mistake-prone game, and I feel if they make these mistakes tonight, they definitely won't win the game. They're going to have to try to make an attempt to get mid-season form tonight. What do you think?
I agree. Absolutely.
Had many turnovers last week. The defense played very well, but tonight I expect a lot different ball game out of the London Red Raiders. This is Martin King here with Darby Calhoun at Von Kendall Field. Get ready for the start of the ball game. Thank you.
It's not changing anything.
You doing the band? You doing London's band this time?
Yeah.
And here comes the London Red Raiders.
I'm Martin King, and I'm up in the booth with Darby Calhoun and Gary McNeil. We would like to welcome you to Von Kendall Field. This is Game 3, and the Red Raiders are pumped tonight. They're coming in this game undefeated, 2-0 and going for win number 3 and making that run for the playoffs.
The nose guard is number 53, Chad Foreman.
We're getting ready to kick this one off tonight. Northeastern is just about to take the field.
Winget, number 51, senior Jody Hess. The defensive back.
And here comes Northeastern. They're taking the field.
Senior, number 24.
Uh-oh. We almost had a little trip there.
A little trouble on the run in.
And number 32.
Mark, both teams look pretty pumped up for this game.
They really do. They really do. I feel the Red Raiders, they're ready tonight. They want it tonight.
And now the offensive lineup for the
They had both their first two games they won. They were both blowouts, but I think we can pretty much say if it wasn't for the plague of the fumbles, the games wouldn't even have been as close as they were. We were looking at maybe two games and maybe a scoring of about 150 both games put together.
Exactly. They made a lot of mistakes. I don't think you're going to see the mistakes tonight. I just have a feeling that the Red Raiders, they're going to settle down and they're going to hit mid-season form tonight.
Robinson. At the tackle position.
This Northeastern club went undefeated last year. They're well coached and a very seasoned ball club. So if they make the mistakes tonight, they're not going to win.
Number 80, John Wilson. That's wide receiver positions. Number 22, Adrian Terry. A senior, and number 85.
Martin and London come out, they're real pumped up. You can tell they still look very calm. You know what I'm saying? They look very like they know what they have to do tonight. They know they can beat this team, and they're just going to go out and do what they've been trained, they've been taught, and they've done over and over in practice. This looks like a well-coached and a together team tonight. Let's just hope they can gel. They don't have the fumbles, and they play good football.
Some of the players said they had a good week of practice, probably the best they've had since the season started. So practice makes perfect. If you don't practice good, you don't play good.
That's the truth.
London won the toss. Deferred to the second half.
London defers to the second half. Just like they do every game when they win the toss, they like to leave the decision up to the other team, and they defer. And we have Aaron Roberts kicking off here.
London number 45, Aaron Roberts.
London set, they're pumped, they're ready. Player of the game last week, Aaron Roberts, set the kick.
Lance Gray. Number 32 is Jared Lucas.
Lucas and Gray back to receive for Northeastern. The crowd, we got another capacity crowd on hand, and everybody seems to be very anxious for this game to get started. We're just waiting for the whistle from the ref.
Martin London's going with a new kicker, it looks like, this week. That's kind of odd because their kicker last week was kicking some boomers.
Yes, he was. Very, very good kicks, high, deep kicks.
And considering he wasn't on the roster last week, we had trouble finding his name.
I tell you, Martin, that the way he's lining up there, I got a feeling it's a possibility of an onside kick.
It does look like that. The way he was turning there, you didn't know if it was going to be an onside kick or he was going. Oh, we do it. It's a little squib kick. It's down the right side. Northeastern's going to field it, and they're going to be out of bounds right just short of the 40-yard line.
Roberts' kick.
I only have two things to say on that one. One, that's kind of weird at the starting of a game. And number two, that tells me that coach puts a lot of respect for his defense.
Yes, he does, because he's giving them good field position already.
39-yard line. First down 10.
Northeastern's line doesn't look very big.
Oh, they don't, but
Northeastern's got one heck of a coach in that Washington, so we knew just about bet he'd come prepared to play.
yes, and watching them play last year, they seem like a very well-coached team. They come out in the pro eye. It's going over the right side to number 32. Missed tackle right there in the backfield. What should have been a loss turned into about a 5-yard gain. It's going to be second down and about 5.
Lucas knocked out of bounds by number 14 of the Red Raiders, Sean Kahn.
Sean Kahn on the tackle. And there was a missed tackle made right there. I believe that was Adrian Terry that had him deep in the backfield.
Adrian Terry, he went in too hard. He's got to watch the containment to the outside, bring him back into the inside, and that's when all your pursuit's going to make the tackle for you. Your job is to keep him from going to the outside and making your 5-yard pickups.
Oh, we're going to have all sides on London on this one.
Willie Marker on the play.
It's going to be on Adrian Terry. He jumped a little bit too fast on that one.
You know, Martin, the penalties in the last 2 games in London hadn't helped them either. That's another thing that's plagued this team. It's the fumbles and the penalties. And you play a good team, and you are not going to win like that.
That's true. Last week they had about 100 yards in penalties, and it's hard to win like that.
I really think we're going to come out of that penalty situation because it looks like we got a lot of young players that didn't play a whole lot of ball last year. So I'd say about another couple games, we're going to see less and less penalties.
They called that an offsides on Northeastern. It looked like London jumped on that play, but I guess they're closer than we are.
Like you said, if you see them do that, jump offside and point at somebody.
Jumped again, no flags on the play. And they got him.
There it is. There it is.
They got him on this play. Tried the same play, but to the left side.
Going down on the play by number 13, Corey Bennett.
Lucas tried to take it over the left side, but this time Bennett made the tackle, stepped up, grabbed the shirt and brought him down on the play. It's going to be third and about 15 yards to go.
Well, this defense is really rare, and they're awful jumpy. They need to just calm down, take it easy. They're doing good. They seem really ready to go, and I think that's why they're jumping.
Their defensive backs may get a test this game.
And if you notice something, that's where the loose jersey came in handy because they able to get hold of that loose jersey. You used to be able to jersey was skin tight. And you couldn't get a hold of the jersey and pull somebody down.
That's very true, Gary. A lot of the teams are going to that. The skin tight jersey makes it hard to tackle them. We have all sides again. On Northeastern.
This is the same end of the field we got picked on last week, so they're just tied to chains in our favor.
Yes, true. The players must be coming up. They must be lining up all sides. Because they show no movement on the line, but if you line up on all sides, you can't move and get back on the offensive line. And they're looking to pass. He's looking deep. Big hit by Williams. He had a man open but missed him. Cliff Williams with the big hit in the backfield on the quarterback.
Intended for number 18, Lance Gray. Incomplete.
You know, Martin, they're putting pretty good pressure on the quarterback. But as we said, I don't feel that the defensive backs for London has been tested yet, and he was wide open on that, so they're going to have to watch out for that.
He did have a lot of room there.
Yes, he did.
Back deep for the Raiders, number 32, Mike Harris, number 13, Corey Bennett.
Ben Harris back to receive. We got another flag down on the play. It's a good kick. Harris is going to take it. He's going over there. He cuts it back up the middle, and he's hit, and he's brought down about the 45-yard line.
Where the flag was, it had to be a holding, maybe another offside.
14, Rob Joel. Penalty marker on the flag.
9 out of 10 times where that flag fell, it's going to be on the kicking team.
Yeah, Dob Meyer is looking at the club, telling him to decline the penalty.
London with great field position.
The call, illegal procedure, Northeastern.
Fans of Northeastern are over there booing. They feel like they're getting some home cooking here.
The penalty is declined. London takes over the ball, first down 10.
On that punt right there, Harris kind of looked like he was tiptoeing up through the hole instead of just getting right to it. He could have got a few more yards out of that. You can't be tentative against this team because this is a very well-coached team. London sets up with the pro high with Jason Artist at quarterback, Aaron Roberts at fullback. And speaking of fullback, that's who it goes to, Aaron Roberts. And he takes it for a gain of about 1 yard.
Brought down by number 53.
Aaron Roberts had a big game last week on both sides of the ball. Don't you both agree?
I agree.
I think so. I'm looking right now that they got quite a bit of beef there in that defensive line. So I think the coach will run out of early and test it and see where they're at.
And the offensive line had a good game last week. They really did a good job. That's why they could move the ball when they did, was the offensive line did a very good job.
Yes, they did. And they go over the right side. He's got some running room. He's just short of the first down. If we got a flag down on the play, it's going to be a face mask against Northeastern. Lester with a big run over the right side. He's a quick slashing back.
Martin, that was a good block from the fullback. But again, it was a great run. But again, like I said, great big hole by the offensive line. They're doing it again. They're very good. They've just come such a ways from last year. They're doing an excellent job on that front line.
Yes, they are.
15-yard step off.
That makes a big difference. Big difference.
First down, 10, the Raiders.
Big 15-yard penalty, and that's going to take the ball down to the 30-yard line of Northeastern. And the Red Raiders have an early drive going right here. They're going back up the middle to Aaron Roberts and nothing doing. We got another flag down on the play. That happened somewhere in the middle.
And where it felt was kind of late. It has to be on the defense again.
Holding against London. We have holding against London. That's going to take him back 10. It's going to make it second down and 20.
Martin, that was kind of a late flag for a holding.
Yes, it was. He was about down when the flag was thrown. London sets back up, second down and 20.
Against London, 10 yards.
I think they're going to have to open it up a little bit to help that running game a little bit more. That's what they need to do. They did very well with that last week. And that's what they're doing right here. A little trickery there, a couple of fakes. They go back up the middle, but nothing doing.
Knocked down on the play.
Martin, I think, just like you said, I think they're going to have to open this one up for the pass. Northeastern's linebackers are looking like they're really starting to come up there. You know, London's good. They got Roberts, that hard-running fullback. They're respecting his run up the middle, and they're coming hard. As soon as he takes a step forward, they're coming hard. They're going to have to drop a few passes behind and make him scoot back a few steps.
They got Adrian Terry split to the near side. Hard just goes back. He's looking. He's under pressure, and he's brought down back across the 50-yard line for a huge loss. That's a loss of about 11 yards on the play.
We'll bring up
They put good pressure on the quarterback on that play. It's 3rd down and 30 yards to go, or 3rd down about a month, I should say.
The offensive line let down a little bit right there.
They got to be careful here. They don't want to lose no more yards than they can because they can still play field position here. And oh, there's a little fake up the middle. He's looking. He's going to pull it down and run. He stops attempting the cutback. Gain of about 5 on the play, but well short of the 1st down.
brings up 4th down.
Aaron Roberts is coming on the punt.
You know, it's early in the game. If I was London, I really wouldn't let it bother me. They've seen some things that they can do. Now they just got to put a little emphasis on that and work with what they know they can do to this team.
That's very true, but they're playing a team that went undefeated last year, and you don't go undefeated but luck. I mean, you have to be well coached and a very good team to do something like that. And London gets the roll. It's going to roll down to about the 13-yard line.
Roberts' punt rolls down at the Northeastern 13-yard line. It would be 1st down 10, Northeastern.
With this Red Raider defense, that punt like that can be just as good as scoring a touchdown because they can get the ball right back just like that. They played very well last week.
I absolutely agree. If Northeastern, if they watched any of London's last game, I think what they're going to do is they're going to attack the ends and go to the pass because, like we said before, I don't feel that their D-backs have been quite tested yet. But again, they're going to have to keep that London defensive line off their quarterback, which I don't know if they can do because that defensive line is awesome.
That's a tough task right there. And another flag down already.
Martin, are we watching last week's game or is it just me?
I see we got a best blocker here again.
He's back again.
And next game we do, Martin, we're gonna chop that pole down. Coach is gonna get a little upset because that's their nest pole, but
5 yards.
We have encroachment again against Northeastern.
8-yard line, 1st down.
They have to be lining up off sides, but if the quarterback doesn't even sit underneath the center and the flag is already down.
Martin, they're lining up right side by side. Usually on the offense, they make like a V shape, so they make sure absolutely they're not offsides. But they're lining up toe to toe, and I think that's the problem. They're just too close to the ball. Their heads are going over the ball, and they're going to call you on that all night long.
Oh yes, they will. Let's see if we can get this play off right here. Here we go. No flags yet. And he's going over the right side. Cuts it back up the middle. He's got a big hole. He gets hit, and he's finally brought down by a couple of London defenders.
Martin, that was a good run by number 34.
Scott Sims on the tackle, and that was almost a touchdown-saving tackle. That's going to be a 1st down, just shy of the 30-yard line.
Chris Blizzard on that run, and he went into the hole that wasn't there. He cut it back, and there was a gap. And it was kind of like he was hidden there for a minute, and he found the hole and went for a big one.
He looked pretty quick on that play.
Yes, he did.
They're lined up in the T formation. They're going over the left side. He's hit, another missed tackle, and he's picked up and driven back by a host of London Red Raiders.
Martin, there was a hole that you could have drove a Mack truck through. Well, what helps this defense out is their pursuit to the ball is excellent.
2nd down.
They showed that last week. That pursuit is tremendous.
What I liked right there, Martin, was the defensive end held his ground. It went inside of him, let it go inside. That's for your linebackers, your tackles. Let them take care of that. He held his ground on the outside.
Back in the T. And they go off tackle on the right side. And he ran over a couple of Red Raider defenders. Just absolutely ran him over, and he's not a big guy.
Martin, remember last week, though, what they run very well on this defense was the off tackle. And again, I think someone watched the game last week, and they're running off tackle. London's tackle's got to pay nose up, get their head up, and play that.
It's not too easy to run on this Red Raider defense, but wow, they're doing a job here tonight. They're back here, and everybody's on the line of scrimmage, and he breaks another one over the right side. He's down close to another first down.
Down by Sean Kahn and Scott Sims.
Down to the 40. Oh, that's a first down. No, he just shot. Second down, about a yard. They come back up, second down and 1. And now Northeastern's on the drive here, using pure running game. Full house backfield, quarterback sneak. Well, we remember that from last week.
Went for a little bit more yards though. Northeastern's just playing a running game, saying, London, you stop us.
It's true, they're not changing for anybody. That's what they did well last year. They didn't pass very much. They ran the ball very well, and they're a team that no matter what situation they're in, they will not quit. They're executing very well tonight. Again, they come back up, and I mean everybody is on the line of scrimmage. They're going back up the middle again, and he got about 3 yards on the play.
Martin London's sitting in a 6-2, and they're just, right now, they're just getting blown off the line as far as I can see.
They're going to have to stay in that 6-2 until they can stop the running game. When the team runs on you, that forces you to put 6 men on the line of scrimmage, which London really doesn't like to do. And they're back in the 6-2. And they're looking to pass. He's got, he could go all the way. He's down inside the 10-yard line. Down to the 6.
Tackle made at the Red Raiders 13-yard line.
No, he's
down at 10.
He's down to the 13-yard line. First and 10 from the 13. London had 2 defenders right there and just misplayed the ball.
I think London just got their first big wake-up call.
Yeah, they're going to have to buckle down here. This team's really driving on. They're making it look easy. But when London's backs are against the wall, this is where they get real tough, as they proved it last week. And they're going over the right side, and he's going to cross the 10-yard line down to about the 9.
Another big hole there, though, Martin. They got to start shutting them holes down, or this is going to be a long, long evening.
Yeah, I know. I remember 2 years ago, they done that the first half, and the Storm kicked us out of the game. So we got to be careful they don't jump a big lead once in this first half.
This London's in a tough situation right here. They're down inside the 10-yard line, and we got a penalty flag down on the play. The preliminary call is illegal procedure against Northeastern.
Illegal procedure, 5 yards.
And both these teams, Martin, are killing themselves with penalties.
Yes, they are.
Themselves with penalties.
That was a big break for the Red Raiders right there. Now they need to capitalize on it. He just shoved them down right here and forced them to go for it on 4th to kick a field goal.
Remember last week, though, when they got down with inside the 10, London really played tough football.
Yes, they did. Now they're looking to pass. We got a big hit. The ball's loose. The ball is loose. Red Raider football. Fumble. And the quarterback is down on the play. That was a big hit.
Martin, he got hit very hard.
Who made that hit?
Who made that hit? We're looking.
Number 56, Cliff Williams.
Cliff Williams, the man of the team. The team captain, one of the team captains, big Cliff Williams with a big hit.
We
That
need to get some replay on that,
Cliff.
Oh, definitely.
The Hammer
I
Williams.
think he might be knocked out for a little while.
This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good.
His arm was up and he was ready to throw, and Cliff hit him with a devastating blow. But hopefully he'll be okay. You hate to see that in the ball game.
Yeah, but him getting up and walking off on his own power, that's, you just like to see that.
That very well could be the big turning point in that game. Something like that could really fire the team up.
Very true. Very
The
true.
whole game around. So London's on. They could be on the move.
London Red, they're a very emotional team.
And a big hit like that could really fire your offense up.
Here we go. Jason Artis sells underneath. The pro eye again, and he's hit deep in the backfield. Hit for a loss. Lester's going to go down for about a 3-yard loss.
Brian Richards, second down.
Second down, about 13 yards to go. The line toward the backfield looks like they're coming off the ball very well. They look kind of lethargic. I think they'll take this one over the right side and go behind Big Cliff Williams. He's looking to pass. He's under pressure. And he's hit for a sack.
I think I might have jinxed that offensive line because they haven't done very well in the last 2 series. There was no pass protection there. He didn't even have time to even set up on that pass.
I think what London's going to have to do is they're going to have to try to control the ball, and the one way to do that is cut your splits down. London has very big splits. If you cut your splits down, that can keep the men from coming in so fast and give your quarterback a little bit of time to throw the ball.
Very true.
And they're running with the option, what Jason Artis does best. He's got some running room. And he's going to have the first down, and that was a big play. He's up across the 35-yard line to the 36.
One thing you got to keep in mind is that's a first-year quarterback. And last year he played and got his ankle broken, so I thought he was a little gun sharp. He didn't look too bad on that run there.
And that's one thing he does best is run that option.
He was doing a good bit of shake and bake on that run too.
He looked good. I've seen him come in a few games last year, and he looked real good running the option. And London definitely have the backs to run the option this year. They're flipping out. We're going to have a halfback pass. They're going deep to Adrian Terry, just a little long. A little bit of incidental contact right there. But nonetheless, it falls incomplete. I like that. It opened it up and made them think, and that can open up the running game right there.
That's something London didn't do enough last year. Just a little trick play. It keeps the team on their toes at all times. When you see that back running around, you got to hold up a minute. Your deep backs can't start coming up. They're going to have to respect other things to happen as just happened, the pass.
They're setting up again, and they're going over the right side. A short gain of maybe 1. Harris, as soon as he crossed the line of scrimmage, as soon as Lester crossed.
That defensive line in Northeastern, those Jets just haven't given up anything at all in that middle.
They're very quick.
True.
Linebackers are playing very well for Northeastern.
And they also have very good pursuit on that defense for Northeastern. Very good pursuit. There was a hole there for 1.5 seconds.
And with the running backs London have, you have to gang tackle.
We got a new huddle up here there. I never noticed them doing using the huddle.
It looks it. It looks it.
It's almost like they're trying to hide some signals or something. Now Artis is going to roll it out to the left. He's looking to throw. Throws on the run. Throws high.
We got a roughing the passer penalty here. This will help big time.
That was a good throw right there, though. It was on the run. He threw it high, but the receiver really was not open.
And Martin Northeastern's really upset with that call because I could hear him booing clear over here.
I think their fans really feel like they're getting some home cooking.
Martin, that
Sweet pass he threw there, and he was throwing against the grain, so throwing running left and throwing back right. I thought that was a pretty good shot.
you put a lot of respect in your quarterback's arm to be able to run that way and pass.
That's a big 15-yard penalty right there.
London got a big break right there. Now they need to capitalize on it and put this one in.
15 yards.
We're getting the boos now. Get out the towels.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Fans are very upset.
London 0, Northeastern 0.
And that's the end of the first quarter, and we have a scoreless first half here. 0-0 penalty, but at least it wasn't turnover plague first half.
Okay, go ahead and pick up. Just go ahead.
I think if you come here in the second quarter, the Red Raiders are going to have to buckle down and really start to get some momentum and start driving the ball down the field.
Martin, what we talked about, which I felt that London did a pretty good job last week, not pretty good, very good job, was the offensive line. Controlling the offensive line, controlling the defensive line. It seems that their line let down just a little bit in the first quarter there. And they just need to get it generating again. Just simply holding your blocks, not letting them just bump them and letting them go, but holding the blocks. And on defense, keeping your head up, getting your hands up, keep your head up.
Back to the basics.
Exactly. Back to the basics on the offensive line. Like we said many, many times, you can have great backs. If your line doesn't do the job, you don't move the ball.
That's very true. They need to get Big Aaron Roberts, the bull, going. He's a seasoned veteran. And that's who they're going to over the left side. And there he goes right there. That's what we need to see.
And that's why they call him the bull right there.
The bull for a game of about 8 yards on that play.
That's what you like to see. When your fullback gets hit, he goes another 5 yards, and that's exactly what he did. He got hit maybe 1-2 yards after he got past the line of scrimmage, and he still went for about 6 yards on the carry. A very good run.
He's a tough man to bring down.
With a fullback in your backfield, you can move the ball.
Carr just settles underneath. He's looking for the short pass. And he threw it a little short to Adrian Terry. Had him open.
Martin, didn't look like he set up very well. He needs to maybe, you know, look like he threw maybe off the wrong foot. I really didn't see that one real good.
I've been watching him receive the ball from the center. And check it out and see if I'm wrong. It looks like he does a double juke. He comes up and then goes back down and comes back up again with the ball. Then he comes away from the center.
Let's key in on that. Because every second counts in football.
Did you see that?
Yeah. He goes over the left side. Fred Lester, and he's going to be close to the first down. I believe he does have it. He does seem to be hesitating a little bit off the snap of the ball.
Looks like the center's really putting the ball in there hard. And he's giving him the old pump, and he's really putting the ball in there hard. It's causing him to go up and then have to go down and then pull it out. That's what it looks like to me.
That can cost you precious seconds in this game. Uh-oh, he's got him. Adrian Terry across the middle. You got to be brave to do something like that. Brought down by the shoulder pads.
He's done a good job of just hanging on to that ball, too.
Yes, he did. That was a very nice pass and a very nice catch.
And Martin, if you've seen...
and we had very nice camera work there, too. If he does say so.
The quarterback kind of bent down there just to kind of hide it like it was a run, then popped it up. That was I like that play.
He did very well from the DBs. And they're going to Roberts. He's grabbed by the ankles in the backfield, but still to twist and turn. And he's close to another first down.
And London is really starting to bring out the playbook now. They're starting to pass a little bit, go to the fullback a little bit. Going with what they did last week when they moved it down the field. They're just doing it again. And again, the offense is starting to move now.
They're doing very well. We got Adrian Terry split to the near side. We got Lester and Roberts in the backfield. We have a penalty flag down the play. That was going to be the option.
Martin, I watched the quarterback on the snap, and doesn't, to me, sometimes he's not really getting the ball really firm in the hands. Not too sure, it's kind of a distance for me, but that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like he's really getting a good handle of the ball as soon as it's snapped, and maybe that's why he's hesitating a few minutes, or a few seconds, is just to make sure he's got the ball before he pulls it out.
Like I say, he's been juking with that ball off the snap.
And it's the option again. He goes to Lester. Lester's going over the left side. And Fred Lester's going to be down at about the 15-yard line.
Second down.
Lester gets a little room to run, buddy. He's giving a couple steps, and he'll take about 10, 15 yards.
The ball is being stopped.
He is very quick, and he's very impressive. And they are down to the 15. The Red Raiders are driving. He goes over the right side.
Fred Lester, the ball carrier.
No gain on that play. No, he could be close to a first down. They needed about 3. And they got a good spot on that one.
Brought down on the play by number 51, Jody Hess. Number 14, Rob Shaw.
Yeah, that went for no gain. It's third down, about 2 to go. It's 3rd and 2. And they're going to Lester again over the right side.
Ball carrier, Fred Lester.
That one's going to be close, Martin.
69, Dan.
Might have a measurement on the play.
I could be wrong, but it looks like Lester's missing that hole by about a step. That hole's closing up just before he gets.
I don't even think they're going to have to measure this one. This one looks like a first down from here where I'm sitting.
Can't wait till they break Lester out in the open field.
This is a first down, Martin. The marker's like...
It looks like it should be a first down.
Yeah, the marker's on the other side of the line of the football.
It's a game of inches, and it's a first down.
Spot the ball just inside the 15-yard line. First down 10.
Well, we're down in scoring territory again.
Here we go. Cut them splits down. Let's take it on in right here. This will be a really big boost for London.
This is where you go to Roberts, the bull, let him jam it up in there and really put this ball in there.
He's a very sure-handed runner. The back in the pro eye. All right, he's going to Lester. Lester goes over the left side. He makes a little move. He jumps back out. Down to about the 5-yard line.
33, Fred Lester.
Martin, one thing on that play, there was great blocking. But another thing, if you watch Aaron Roberts, he popped. I mean, popped. The first man that come across that line, he got jolted.
Very good play, but it all goes for naught. Holding London.
We're down in scoring territory. We don't need any more miscues again.
That was
going to get some points on the board and get a little respect out of that team.
That was just what they needed to get the big holding penalty.
The 20-yard line. First down 15.
First and 15.
Martin, if I was London, I'd go the other way with it.
And they're looking to pass. It's looped up in the air.
Jason Artis' pass intended for number 22, Adrian Terry.
He took
covered on the play by
after Jason Artis received it. He took one step back after he received the snap and just heaved the ball up in the air. That's a play the Dallas Cowboys made famous back in the 70s.
And it looked like a defensive back give the receiver a push about 10 yards deep before he got a chance to get around it.
Yeah.
Which made him go a little bit wider, but I guess it wasn't enough to call an infraction on the play.
They're lining up. He's looking to pass again. He's throwing in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! Williamson on the touchdown. Bo Williamson with a great catch. That was a very good throw by Bo Williams. That was a great catch by Bo Williams. He got great position on the ball. Got away from the defender and just turned around and stepped it in.
Puts London up 6-0.
Adrian Terry to hold number 14, John Kahn.
That's just the beginning of it, too. And maybe we'll get a solid scoreboard after we kick this extra point.
That kicks up, and it looks to be good.
The score, with 8:36 to play in the second quarter.
They almost kicked the car window out with that one.
That was a good kick right there. And the Red Raiders go up 7-0.
At this time, the parents of the varsity and reserve football teams at London High School would like to thank the following individuals and businesses for sponsoring the team's Thursday night dinners for the first 3 ball games this season.
London had the little setback, but it didn't let it bring them down.
Mr. and Mrs. Mike Larkins, Norris Motors of London, and Donato's Pizza. Thanks to those 4. I'm sure Red Raiders enjoyed it all.
We're doing the old traditional throw the footballs out, and we can't seem to get one.
Yeah, I've been trying to get one for 2 years, and they can't find a girl that's got an arm.
Either that or the football was too light and they ain't gonna sell this far. Has to be a perfect spiral.
The footballs are compliments of Chuck Spinney's Nationwide.
Martin, you're gonna have to get one of them cheerleaders to run one up to you, because that's about the only way you're gonna get one, it looks.
London's,
Aaron Roberts to kick off.
the Red Raiders are set to kick.
And Lance Gray.
Gray and Lewis set to return. And let's see what they do this time. They tried to kick a little onside kick last time. There's Aaron Roberts again getting set to kick. And he squibs it again. And they take it. And they're up to the 40. They're putting a lot of faith.
Taken by number 46.
Putting a lot of faith in that Red Raider defense.
By Sean Kahn.
They kind of got beat up on one drive.
Region's ball, first down 10.
They're giving them real good field position to start the.
Northeastern 37.5 yard.
This is to start the second half. This is their first possession. They're giving them real good field position here. And they go, ooh, that was a big hit right there. He went over the left side for a gain of about 2 yards. That was good linebacker play right there.
Carry number 32.
London's defense is out to put the hurt in.
I got a feeling the London defense just showed up.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. They look really fired up, and they're going to be popping them running backs.
What you need to do. Once you hit them backs a couple of times, they don't want to come up through that hole so fast anymore.
They'll start looking before they come up through that hole as fast.
They're going over the left side. He's got running room.
Carry number 32, Jared Lucas.
Jared Lucas, number 32, takes it down close to a first down. That Lucas, boy, he's tough. He's small, boy, he's a tough runner. There ain't no quit in him. He'll hit you, know how big you are. He just puts it right in there.
The whole defense comes up and tries to put a hurting on you when they're trying to make the tackle. They're really aggressive defense.
Yeah, we need to have a little defense here to stop this short.
Big play right here. Watch number 32. He's very dangerous. And that's who it's going to. Lucas takes it for the first down. He runs that ball like a kamikaze pilot. He really doesn't care.
Nope.
welcome to the London Red Raider football review with head coach Dave Davelmeyer and host George Ford. Tonight, Coach, we're going to talk about the game Friday night. And the first question is, knowing that Northeastern came in with a 19-1 record, how did you feel before the game started?
I think a lot of times, George, people, they pay attention to the records that people have and what they've done in the past, but I try to tell people over and over, the guys that win 19-1 for Northeastern aren't playing anymore. Those kids have all graduated. So the fact that they were 19-1 is in the last 20 games, that's something that's remarkable, but it really doesn't have a whole lot of bearing on what's going to take place on the football field on Friday night. The thing that's impressive about a 19-1 run or whatever is that those kids know how to win. And we knew coming into the football game that they were going to put a football team out there that was going to be hard-hitting and strong, and kids that would not give up and knew how to win. And I think that we were better than what they were physically, but those guys played hard, clear to the end, and it took a great effort by our kids to be able to come out ahead.
One of the things that a lot of the people in London want to know is that for 2 weeks that you've really been down like at halftime. I mean, usually the first 2 games you played, you was up like 21 points. The last 2 games, you were down like 1 point. In this game Friday night, you know, like you only had like 7 points on the board. So we know that you're a team that's used to scoring more points before the half.
Yeah, but I think you have to take into consideration, you just said we played a team that's won 19 of the last 20 ball games, and actually for us to be ahead 7-0 is something that was really at that point a pretty good accomplishment for us. We felt that we had a call that went against us right there before halftime, George, a pass interference call. They ended up calling it an offensive pass interference. It really might have led to another score for us right before halftime that could have put us up 14-0. But we really liked our position, and we were ahead 7-0 at halftime. We really felt that we were beginning to wear Northeastern down. We'd already heard a couple of their kids that had to come out of the ball game. When we got into the locker room, our kids were real confident. We wanted to get some water and rest up a little bit, but we were ready to go right back out after. I think you have a tendency when we came out, we got ahead of Madison playing very quickly. That's not going to happen every game, George. And I think that I would hate to think that our fans get to the point where every time they come to a ball game, they expect us to be up 21 points real quick, because they realize that other teams, they practice all week too, and their coaches coach them all week too, and they try to take away certain things we do. And we really felt that certainly this week that Jerry Wasserman over at Northeastern is a very, very good football coach, and he really had his kids prepared on what it was we were going to try to do. And they tried to take away some of our real basic stuff. But like we tried to sell our kids, you just got to hang in there with us, and we'll keep packing away, and eventually we're going to find something that works. And what we found out the other night is they kind of left Jason Artis a little bit unattended, and Jason had a great game and really hurt him.
Well, I see tonight that you have your assistant coach here, Coach Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to ask Coach Emmett a question as far as the defense is concerned. For the first half of that game, how did you think that your defense performed?
I think any time you go in at halftime and you are shutting out an opponent like Northeastern, you know you're doing a good job, and I think we really felt confident all week, and especially at halftime, that we could continue to play at the level we were playing at. So we felt pretty good. We knew they had some weapons, but I think we felt very confident, not only as a coaching staff, but especially the players.
Coach, something that maybe that you could go over for the people. I don't want to catch you surprised here, but let the people out there, give them some idea what kind of size Northeastern had on that football field Friday night. I think sometimes when you get away from it up in the stands, you don't understand how big those kids are. Maybe you could.
I think the nose went about 245, probably about 6 foot. One of their tackles, I believe, was 260. The other tackle was probably in about the 250 range. And then the starting defensive end, he went about 200, 205, and then the other defensive end was a little bit smaller. Both inside backers went about 180, 85. So they were a physical team and had a lot of strength, and they were a good football team.
They're a real good team, George. That's something that we joke all the time about. Coach Emmett always wants to know when he gets to come on the Red Raider review. I say, Coach, when you get a shutout.
I really appreciate being on tonight.
And we said that all last year, and I don't think we ever got one, did we, Coach?
No,
we were close a few times.
But you allowed me to come on, so
I let you come on anyway. But after this game Friday night, I thought it was really quite an accomplishment to be able to shut those guys down like that.
Coach, again from a defensive standpoint, who are some kids you think really had outstanding football games for us?
Well, I think in terms of talking about London's defense, you got to look to the kids first, but you also got to look to some of the coaches we got coaching those positions. We start at inside linebacker, Coach Mark Byard. I mean, he does a great job. Right now we have Scott Sims and Aaron Roberts playing in there, but he's been able to tutor those guys over the last couple of years, and he's a great inside linebacker coach. Then you go out to the outside with Coach Wilson, who handles the outside linebackers, and the outside linebackers over the last 2 years have really made our defense. Going back to last year, and then we have John Wilson and Adrian Terry out there, and Coach Wilson does a great job. And then we go to secondary play, and between you and Coach Collier back there, I don't think there's better coaches in our conference that work with the secondary. So I think, from a coaching standpoint, we're solid. We're all together. We all work together. And then we have those kids that go out there and perform like some of the kids we have here tonight. Starting with Scott Sims there on the end, our inside linebacker. This is his second year starting for London. Scott, I'd like to ask you a question. What do you think's the key ingredient to being an outstanding inside linebacker?
I believe you have to be, just got to learn to go with the flow of the game. It's varsity's real quick game, goes pretty fast and plays good. You just have to give your body, you just don't really care what your body does. You just got to go like you don't have a head and put your ears back and play football.
Well, one thing that's really impressed us about Scotty, and even when he was a freshman and 8th grader, was that he was able to run to the football. And as he said, he gets into the flow of the game there, and late in the first quarter, second quarter, and by the third quarter he's really cooking, and he can cover sideline to sideline, and he's running real well now. And he's a tough, hard-nosed kid, and that's one of the prerequisites for being an inside linebacker. But he's doing a great job. This is his second year starting for us.
Scott, what do you see from your own play? What do you see the biggest difference from you now in the way that you played last year and the way that you played after 3 games this year?
I believe being up in the weight room has helped me tremendous. Just being physically strong, being able to shed the blockers and then get someone down over your own power if there is no one to help you out, which there usually is on our defense. But I just believe being physically strong is a lot better. And putting on a few pounds also helps.
What do you weigh right now, Scott?
About 192.
So you're inside linebacker at 6'2", 192. Junior in high school, that's pretty good.
Okay. Can't wait till next year. Coach Byard works real hard with you guys inside. If you could put your finger on one thing that he has taught you over the last couple of years working with him, what's the biggest thing that Coach Byard works on with you?
I'd say shuffling down the line, getting sideline to sideline, working outside to sideline, making a tackle.
You do a great job with that. Outside linebacker Adrian Terry's here with us. Adrian's had some great football games on the offensive side and also the defensive side. He had a number of participations against Northeastern. Had a big hit on their quarterback, which was a real shot. I think, it was a great hit in the game. It was a turning point in the game, and he's been doing a great job. Adrian, as far as your improved play at outside linebacker, where's that coming from, that improved play? You've done a great job for us, but you just keep getting better and better. What do you think?
Well, I'm learning to control my aggression. That helps a lot. Last year I tried to throw a few people in the stands, and that didn't get me too far. So just put my ears back and going.
Yeah, I think you're playing under a little more control. When that ball snapped, you know what you want to do, and you just go and get it done. I mean, you're really coming off the ball hard, tackling hard, and just doing a great job. And I think sometimes we don't appreciate your outside linebacker play enough.
Coach, we're real aggressive with those guys on the outside. Northeastern really hurt us a little bit the other night in that they would take their tight end and wall our defensive end down inside. And Adrian and John were both coming across the ball too hard, and we had to make an adjustment, try to get those guys, back those guys off a little bit. And
calm them down a little bit.
Calm them down. It's kind of hard to do with the way that we play.
For both of them.
But they did a great job out there being able to shut that off-tackle play off.
Adrian's been playing well on the offensive side of the ball, but he's just been really super on the defense. He's got any number of tackles for loss, any big hits and that, and we know he's going to continue to play at that level and increase that level each game. You can see it in the first 3 games.
Coach, you know that Adrian knocked their quarterback out the other night, hurt his shoulder, and Adrian, you know, we talk all the time in defensive practices about putting the quarterback out and hurting this guy. We don't really go out there with the intent of actually trying to cause physical harm to that guy. We wouldn't mind hitting the guy so hard that he has to leave the game. How do you feel, Adrian, when you get a blind shot on a guy like that and he didn't get up?
Pretty good.
Not a whole lot of sympathy, huh?
Let me ask, I want to ask you a question is, okay, you the one got the hit on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, this question is for you. How do you think that the game would have gone if you hadn't put the quarterback out of the game?
I really couldn't say that. I don't know. I've never seen him play before. It didn't happen.
All we know is he wasn't in there, right?
All you did.
Wasn't in there when the time came.
It was a great hit. Good
It was
clean
a good hit.
Good clean hit.
Caused a fumble, and we didn't mention that they were on about the 12-yard line at the time, I think.
Yeah,
And Adrian
that was a big
blindsided
play.
him, and Cliff Williams fell on the ball and really swung the momentum around.
But Coach, before the young man got hurt, I noticed that he was throwing some pretty good passes on you. You know, and he was moving the ball pretty good in the air. He realized he couldn't move it on the ground, so he started throwing it in the air, and he was moving the ball.
Well, George, I'm not speaking for Coach Emmett, but there's no secret about the way we play football. We are betting when we play defensive football that we're going to get to your quarterback before he can get the ball off. Now, you may get it off once or twice. You may get the ball down the field, but Coach,
That's right. We put the pressure on and just keep coming.
And even if that young man hadn't been hurt, you only have to get hit like that one time before he's going to be looking for Adrian next time. And that's really kind of what our philosophy is.
Our other outside linebacker here with us tonight is John Wilson, who's again done a great job on both sides of the ball. I think we can call him Coach Wilson.
That's great.
He's a student of the game on both sides of the ball and knows what's going on almost every snap. He's played well at outside linebacker. I could just see myself backing up and having these 2 guys coming at me all the time.
Coach, I don't think you mentioned how tall both of these guys are.
Adrian, how tall are you right now? About
6'3".
6'3", and John?
6'5".
6'5". So you can imagine what it would be like either sprinting out or dropping back against these 2 guys. And they're both hitters. They're both hard workers. And John, I know you're working real hard on the offensive side of the ball, blocking and catching. Where do you see yourself defensively as what's your job as far as outside linebacker? And maybe you can tell the people what some of your responsibilities are in that.
I've just basically got to keep my outside shoulder open, and I know that if I turn the running back inside, that when Aaron Roberts and Scott Sims come out, then they're going to be in a world of hurt.
So if you do your job like we always talk about, then you're helping someone else on the defensive team. And I think that's real important in terms of talking about team defense, is everybody doing what they're supposed to do. And you do a great job out there.
Coach, there was a play the other night, I'm sure that you remember, late in the ball game, Northeastern was trying to move the ball a little bit. And again, as hard as we bring our outside linebackers from the outside, it all the time looks like the swing pass might be open. And I was so impressed to see number 32, who was really the fastest guy on their team, faked up in fake block and then swung to the right side for a swing pass, and there was big old John Wilson.
That was a great play, and that again goes back to his feel for the game. I think he has a great feel for the game, very intelligent, and you can't trick John. I mean, he's there all the time and does what he's supposed to. And you look here at our 3 defensive players here, and just look at these 3 guys and the type of season they're having, and you add the other 8 that we have, and we're playing pretty good defense right now. And I know with these guys working hard, it's going to continue that way. I think team defense is an attitude, and that's where we're at now. We're developing that attitude and getting it done.
Something that I don't know if a lot of people in our community know, Coach E, but Adrian Terry, John Wilson, Jason Artis, and Bo Williamson all play basketball as well. Of course, we have almost all the starting 5 on this year's basketball team are football players. And I think maybe a problem we've had in the past is we didn't always, at London High School, share athletes, Coach. I think maybe there's a little history of that. The football coach wanted to keep the football players lifting weights, and the basketball coach wanted to keep them shooting foul shots, and we never shared.
Right. I think
now on Friday nights, Coach Gustin walks out there and he sees his basketball players out there playing football.
I think it's Coach Gustin is real pleased with that. And on top of that, I think for these guys, if you'd ask them, it makes them more aggressive and more physical when they get on the court. And I think that's really helped them out, and probably added some rebounds for Adrian and some rebounds for John and Art too, so, and Bo.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them there, right there. So they gave us great effort on Friday night. Before we talk to the next two guys, Coach, I understand that Gary has put together a couple clips from last Friday night's football game, and we're going to talk about a couple plays here that we ran with Jason Artis. Gary, if you have the first one ready to go there, maybe we can put it up on the monitor. And I think the first play that we have is we were ahead 7-0. This is in the third quarter. As it's going to be the next play. No, that was it, Gary. Caught the end of it. It was just a bootleg. It's really a naked bootleg that we've been running with Jason, and they've been so hard on our tailback and our fullback all night long that we were down on the 12-yard line and had to figure out some way to try to get the ball in there, George, on the third and I guess it was a 3rd and 9 situation from the 9-yard line. And we run this play a lot, but Jason has a tendency to try to throw the ball, which all quarterbacks like to do. But we sent the play and said, "Hey, Artie, if you don't run this, we're going to break your arm." So he just kind of decided he's going to run it. And if Gary sticks it up there again, we'll see that we get good play action fake into the inside, and Jason packs it away on his hip and takes it around the right end. So it fakes the cameraman and everybody there, and there's Jason going to roll out to the right side and dance in there and do his little dance in the end zone. I like the emotion of our football team then as they get down the end zone and congratulate him. Then the next clip that we have up is basically the same play. It was fourth quarter when the coach was just as 14-0, and we'd had a bad jason series the time before, and we just came back and did the exact same thing. Told Jason he gets the football, we're going to run what we call 27 Tylenol. Telling Jason put the ball away and run. And I told Coach Emmets, if we get one block, we're going to score on it. And you'll see here, it's good play action fake. Look up inside here, everybody's chasing the fake. There's a block by Aaron Roberts, and there's one by Adrian Terry. And now Jason throws his head back and goes 75 yards down the sidelines. It's a pretty exciting moment.
I just think that the fans might want to know.
Gary, if you can freeze that one again, we'll come back to it in a minute.
I think the fans would like to know is that Coach, even when he was running that touchdown, I don't know whether you know it or not, but you threw your head gear off and you were running down the sideline as fast as he was.
I was ready to throw a block, George. I
picked Coach up, so.
I think that was a real big play for us because we haven't gotten Jason involved enough in running in our offense. He's a great runner. And he hadn't been running the ball enough, and I think he just needed to get a feel for that, getting out in the open and going with it. And as we get ready to show this play again, if the fans will watch all of the guys in the white, don't necessarily watch Jason with the ball, but watch all the guys in the white who are going to chase the fake down inside. And that's really what sets up the play. And here we're coming out of the huddle. We're going to fake it to our left here. Now watch all the white jerseys chase this ball down to the inside, which is where they think it is. And then we got great control on the outside then. Now look at the white shirts run down in there after the wrong guy. Jason makes a good cut back there. Right about now, George, I'm throwing my headphones off and chasing after him because I knew he was going to make it. That was a great play. We're going to talk to Jason here in a minute, but we're going to go ahead and show one more play that we have queued up. And all of our highlights tonight seem to be offense, Coach, even when we had a great shutout like we did, you know. And that has to do because Gary put the highlights together. He didn't know if we were bringing offensive or defensive guys tonight. Next one is going to be a touchdown pass to Bo Williamson. If you can just hold it a second right there, Gary, and give us a chance to set it up. They were really overplaying our wide receiver, Adrian Terry, and they were really overplaying our run. And we went with just a play-action pass to Bo Williamson, who's playing backside tight end. Bo's only caught, I think, one ball coming into Friday night's game, but we know he's a very capable receiver. They had their safety in real tight. They had one of their defensive backs real wide, and there was a natural seam right down the middle of the field. And we told Bo to run down that seam. Well, he got a little bit too far inside, actually, but Jason stuck the ball right in what we call the hole, and as you'll see on the play, Bo did a great job of shielding his body, catching the ball, and then dancing into the end zone. So, Gary, you can go ahead and run that one if you want to. And again, Artis has got it here. Bo's on our left side here. Jason just pulls up and sticks it in, and Bo shields him off and spins right back to the inside. They're so worried about John Wilson and Adrian Terry on the outside, they forget Bo Williamson. And Bo's a great receiver.
Good emotion there again.
Great emotion. A lot of guys getting into the football. We wanted to win that ball game. We'll take one more look at that then. Protection up front seemed to be pretty good.
Not too bad.
Jason had time to step up, throw it right in the hole, and Bo scampers in the end zone. So that was our 21 points that we did get to see here. Maybe we can talk to Jason on this a little bit right now. Artie, he's had kind of a rough start for us, you know, there's no doubt about it. And the quarterback's guy always catches all the gruff from all the fans and everything, and I'm sure that you've been hearing your share of it. You had a great game the other night, Jason. Well, the week before, you threw for 3 touchdowns. You threw for 1 touchdown Friday night and ran for 2 more. I'm just wondering, Jason, as really a first-year varsity player, you beginning to feel a bit more comfortable in there?
A little bit. I mean, at the beginning, like one of the first games, I was just rushing and just trying to do too much, just throwing just to be thrown.
Rather than making your read and letting the game come to you. Jason, I've heard a lot of people say, ever since I've been coaching at London High School, actually, said, boy, those quarterbacks, they're always focusing on the guy they're going to throw the ball to. And that's not necessarily true, is it, Jason? Why is it when you're getting ready to throw the ball to a certain area, why do you have your eyes out there looking in that direction?
You got to know where your receiver's at first. But you're always worried about, that's when I first started, I was just always worried about people coming in, just thinking I don't have enough time, and just, like I said, just throwing just to be thrown.
Are you focusing on a defensive player out there, Jason? What are you trying to do?
Well, mostly like what we did in practice, just like to say the defensive back or outside linebacker or whatever.
So a lot of our pass patterns, we give you 2 choices depending on what the defensive man does. Is that right, Jason?
Yeah.
So it's not so much that you're looking right at the receiver, you're looking more at the defensive.
It just depends on where the defensive player is at.
So if the defensive player goes one way, then you throw it in another direction. That's why you're focusing on
You
that.
got to be quick. You just can't wait like I've been doing mostly, but I'll catch on.
I'm sure you will, Artie. And I know if Coach Emmons was coaching against us, seeing him carry the ball around the end would give you a heart
Scary,
attack.
that's scary.
Jason, when did you first realize on that long 75-yard run the other night, when did you finally realize, man, you were going to go all the way?
I don't know. When Adrian threw that block, I just cut inside. There wasn't nobody else there. Just put my head back and went.
That gives you give us a whole different dimension about that. What do you think is the most difficult thing, Jason, about playing quarterback?
Staying in the pocket. I don't know, just staying in the pocket.
Good thing is Adrian Terry's on your team, not on another team, rushing you from the blind side, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully Coach Emmons has those lines protecting a little bit better in there. How do you see this week against Old Tangy, Jason?
Well,
this is only Monday, and we haven't really prepared a whole lot, but how do you see this game?
I don't know. I didn't get to watch too much film of it. It was just mostly watching your offense. I didn't get to see all the defense. But hopefully we'll watch films and I just get to see how the defense did and see what I can do.
You'll do whatever it takes, won't you, buddy?
Yeah.
Next guy we'll talk to is Bo Williamson, and Bo caught that touchdown pass, put us ahead the other night, and we didn't mention Coach Bo plays some outside linebacker as well.
I forgot.
How tall are you, Bo?
6'2".
So Bo's the short one in the crew. He's only got 6'2". He's a hitter and he can run as well. And he's really kind of been our unsung hero. And I mentioned it Saturday morning that he blocks every play, he goes down, does everything you ask him to do, and never complains. And I wonder, Bo, in the course of the football game, you ever get as tired of us throwing the ball to Adrian and throwing it to John and never throwing anything to you?
Well, I mean, coming into this year, I kind of knew Adrian was going to be a senior, and John had the hands, the golden hands, so I pretty much knew that the ball wouldn't be coming to me a whole lot. But, I mean, I came out here and played, so I knew that someday my number would be called, so.
Just waiting for your opportunity to be able to do it.
Ready.
You've put on quite a bit of weight last year, Bo. Last year we played you some wide receivers, some outside backer. Played you a little bit the other night at tight end. What was that like for you?
Well, my freshman year I was a down lineman on defense, and I really enjoyed that. And this year I got to see what it's like on the other side of the ball. So I mean, they're real physical in there, and there's a lot of things going on in there that the refs don't know about. So that's I don't know if I enjoy that or not, but it's just a different aspect of the game.
He sure can complain about it, doesn't he, Coach? Maybe you could talk a little bit about those defense as well.
What a great attitude he has. I mean, that's awesome to be in his position, what he does for us, and then just have that great attitude. His, I think, 2 things again. His quickness. He is very fast on the defensive front, and also he'll hit you. I mean, we can go back even to last year and look at some tape of him hitting people. He's not afraid to hit you, and he does a great job. Just really enjoy working with someone like Bo.
There's five great kids we got with us here tonight, George, and it just so happens that 4 of them play on the defensive side of the ball, and we try to teach them a little bit, but we got a great football game out of Jason Artis the other night, and all of them, they all play with a lot of heart. be able to beat Northeastern 21-0 is really an accomplishment for us.
What I would like to do at this time, I would like to start with Scott Sims and ask a question. The question is that on Friday nights when y'all play, you know that you got an offense and defense. So you're talking approximately 22 boys. Coach dresses probably 60 guys. What would you say to one of your teammates that's like on the third team and down to encourage them, to keep them pumped up, you all, while y'all out there playing? What would you say to them?
I'd say get in the weight room as much as possible. Keep running so you don't get stiff and tight and you can't run anymore. And also just wait for your turn, and when your number's called, do the best you can do, and then practice hard and practice.
You didn't start out as a starter last year, did you, Scotty? You spent some time over on the sideline.
Yeah.
Not a fun thing to do, but sometimes it's a necessary evil, George. Big step from freshman ball to varsity football. Some guys can make that transition a little faster than others. But I think you hit on a big point. You know, it's a team game,
Right.
and we can't be in the course of a football game and have 11 guys on the football field and then have 22 other guys upset that they're not playing, because it pulls you apart as a team. And I think our kids understand it. Hey, there's some guys that want to be in the game. There's no doubt about it. But hopefully they keep those feelings to themselves.
Well, I like the thing that Bo just said, is he said that he knew that Adrian Terry and John Wilson was already playing offense. But he said that he kept practicing hard and kept believing that the opportunity was going to come for him to play. And sure enough, Friday night it was there. And that's something that, the rest of the young men on the team should recognize and follow behind what you just said, because that is a great statement. Because I know, Coach, you tried to instill that to a lot of those guys. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Your time will come.
Just be prepared when your time
so,
comes.
that's right, and know what you're doing, so.
See, but the thing that I know Bo understands is last year Adrian Terry was not our #1 receiver. It was Dwight Jones, and Adrian was just kind of the other guy standing out there, weren't you, Adrian? Blocking and doing all that kind of stuff. And as a result of it, now when we have to block, Adrian knows how to block. And he caught about 6 touchdown passes last year. Didn't catch a whole lot of balls, but every time he caught it, he hurt somebody. And then that'll be Bo Williamson next year. See, Bo will step into probably that #1 role at our split end. And the experience that he will have gathered this year is going to pay off dividends next year. So you got to, football, everybody's got to know what their role is out there. There's only one football, and we can't give one to Adrian, one to John, one to Bo, and let Artis have one and Lester have one. There just aren't enough balls. So we just got to take turns of passing around. And Bo knew when we called his number, he better catch it if he wants to see it again. So he snatched that baby and got in there with it.
Okay, one last question. This question is for Coach Emmett. Coach Emmett, how are you preparing the guys for this big game coming up this week? Going in 3-0, how do you think?
By the way, George, I think it's the first time since 1975 I checked the London football team started out 3-0. So again, it's a record-breaking performance for these guys, and we just want to keep getting better. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right. That's all right.
I think the biggest thing when you're at this point of 3-0 is that you forget about Friday night. Hopefully these guys and the rest of our team have enjoyed that win, maybe Saturday, Sunday, and put it behind. Now they have to get refocused, and we were today. We had a good practice today. And you have to forget about the past and then zero in, whether it be Olentangy or whoever you're playing. You have to go week by week and play with a high level of intensity. And if you do that week by week, know your opponent, forget about last week, have a quiet feel of confidence, you can put together an undefeated season. And that's what we're shooting for. And if we take 1 week at a time and play at a high level of intensity, we're going to get it done.
We play Olentangy this week, George, and Olentangy they were 7-3, 8-2 with a forfeit last year. Made the state playoffs for the first time in the history of their school as well. So they're a solid football team. They're 1-2 right now. They got beat by Worthington Kilbourne, who is a Division II football team. And then they got beat the other night by Buckeye Valley, who's undefeated, 3-0. So they've got 2 losses, but those 2 losses have been against some pretty good competition. And I know what our guys are thinking. Olentangy, because Olentangy hasn't been good in forever. I can remember the time when that was London, and London wasn't good, and then all of a sudden London's good. We have got to respect Olentangy and realize that they've got a real sound football team. Plus, it's do or die for them. I mean, they had playoff hopes and all this stuff, and they can see that stuff slipping right through their fingers. So you can bet up at Olentangy High School, they're talking about if they want to make the playoffs, they're going to have to beat the London Red Raiders. And it's kind of funny. We're talking about the same thing down here, George. Our kids know what it is that they have to do, and we're not afraid of the challenge. We're excited about where we are. I saw in tonight's paper that one of the quotes they had in there about Jason Artis was he said that we're 3-0 heading to 10-0. And I was proud, not that Jason would sound cocky or arrogant, but proud that his vision is that strong, that he knows that that's what we're going to do, that we're going one at a time and try to strive for that goal of 10-0. It's been a while since we've been there, but I think it's very realistic for us. Does that mean that we're automatically there? No, hey, we've got to beat some good football teams.
1 week at a time.
1 week at a time. 3-0 becomes 4-0, and then you just go from there.
One last question. I hate to put you on the spot, Coach, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for the fans.
All right.
Predict the score.
I mean, there's too many. You can never predict the score because
that's good.
There's just too many. There's too many variables. You don't know who's going to drop a football and who's going to pick off a pass and run it in. There's just too many variables. I believe we're the better football team, George.
You have to understand, this show is for the fans too. So therefore, you answer the question. I'm sure there's a lot of them wanted to know.
Well, I would say that the score will be 0-0 when the game starts, and at some point during that game, somebody's going to score.
Somebody's going to score.
And I just hope that we score a whole lot more than what they did.
Well, this is it for the London Red Raiders football review tonight.
That's it, baby.
That's it. Go.